In Alaska, Parker Schnabel discovers what may be the richest gold mine on the next episode of Gold Rush. He claims to have made the most crazy treasure ever. Will this be his greatest win or risk? Parker Schnabel is overworked managing 2 mines in different countries. He has faced initial challenges in Alaska, but gold is bringing growth. His Yukon crew is rushing to mine the massive airfield claim before the season's water license expires. Everything must be stripped and paid for to mine everything left this year. Parker's crew has mined 48 of his 90 airfield acres, including the Keyhole, Easy Street, and Bear Cut. They are using Slucifer to run pay dirt from the 18-acre payback cut to the 24-acre runway cut, the largest and last cut. They must have 5 acres down to pay the next week before restarting Big Red, so it will wait until all the stripping is done. With only 1 wash plant, the runway cut is all hands on deck until stripped, except for 1 crew member. Tyson Lee drives the 750 excavator through the payback cut while Parker handles the D11 and Mitch removes runway overburden with the 700. Given mounting barriers, staying ahead is a daily battle. Air from the 700 excavator suddenly smells like coolant, indicating difficulties. A broken radiator leaks coolant into the hot exhaust manifold, disrupting their plans. Needing replacement components quickly, Mitch calls Taylor. Tyson then departs his 750, leaving him with the 480, reducing his ability to transfer Slucifer money. With just the 480 digging pay, they risk running out of pay dirt and having nothing to process. Reducing the feed rate reduces gold flow, but it's better than shutting down the plant. With Slucifer decreased and Big Red off, mining all 90 acres is less likely. Crews are removing heavy dirt from the runway cut. Tyson reports a huge buildup in the PRW. They're loading it out without a place to transport it since it's late in the year to open 20 feet of dirt. Parker's crew is racing to clear the 24-acre runway cut to feed Big Red wash plant. Big Red waits on a mountain to wash rocks. If they had pay dirt now, it would work. Tyson is in a tough spot after taking the 750, but opening the ground is crucial to avoid leaving a lot of gold. Tyson is digging for cash to feed Slucifer in the 480 while Mitch's 700 excavator is being repaired. He has reduced Slucifer's feed rate and hopes not to make more changes, but Big Red comes first. However, Taylor arrives with wonderful news. The 700 radiator has been changed and is ready. This should restore their momentum. This machine has transported tons of soil and pay dirt to the wash facility. Tyson can feed Slucifer 220 YPH with the 750 back in service, processing more pay dirt and extracting more gold. The 750's return is a big relief, allowing normal operations. Parker's sole wash facility is back online, promising a better season finale. Mitch Blash is under pressure to move pay dirt at Parker Schnabel's Indian River claim before the season expires. Both Big Red and Slucifer wash plants operate 24/7, making feeding them essential. Mitch moved Evan, a young passionate rock truck driver, to loader operator to boost output. However, a big issue abruptly halts their progress. Evan finds many large pebbles in the Slucifer run, forcing Big Red to stop. Big Red is down, so no gold is being processed or money coming in, but expenses are rising. Big Red must be fixed and working again when needed. Mitch and Tyson quickly discover a blown-out screen deck portion. Huge rocks and Slucifer runs indicate a large hole in the screen, which filters larger pebbles from finer pay dirt. Huge pebbles clog the opening runs when the screen breaks, interrupting water flow, preventing the guns from catching gold, and washing away the sluice box end. The team performs a tricky screen repair. The damaged screen is removed and replaced with a new one, fastened in place. The screen deck connection is crucial to gold mining. Screens separate larger boulders from finer pay dirt, allowing gold-rich material to be collected. Breaking screens lets big rocks fall through and clog sluice channels. This clog prevents the water from flowing properly, preventing the riffles from catching the gold, which washes out of the sluice box and is lost. Big Red needs to fix the screen to keep processing pay dirt efficiently. Mitch, Tyson, and the crew quickly fix the damage, emphasizing the screen deck's value. With the new screen, the crew restarts Big Red. The effective repair brings relief and satisfaction. Evan's rapid diagnosis saves the squad a lot of gold, proving his value. Over $90,000 is worth 51.6 ounces of runway cut gold. Running Big Red for a week might net $500,000 in gold. Slucifer has been efficient, digesting the chopped dirt and generating 33,605 ounces of gold worth over $600,000. Parker's team is optimistic because both plants are running well. They appreciate being at the end of their huge mining activity and the effort required to move the wash plants. The crew wants to maximize the season and leave no gold behind as they reach the finish. Parker Schnabel's mining operation is running, but new challenges are straining the workers. Mitch Blash is carefully processing a lot of pay dirt from Parker's Indian River claim before the season ends. Mitch has shifted Evan, a young energetic crew member, from rock truck to loader to help meet demand at Big Red and Slucifer wash plants, which are open 24/7. Despite these achievements, Parker adds a major task, establishing a new operation in Alaska's Yukon in 3 weeks. With both wash plants working well in the Bear Cut and delivering over 1,800 ounces of gold, Parker's bold strategy and his team's dedication are pushing them to a record-breaking season. On the land, he points out piles of dirt that he feels could have the best gold content they've ever encountered. He points out a corner in the area that he has high hopes for, noting how all the dirt is piled up together. But why does he feel that way? Well, 20,000 years ago on Lower Duncan Creek, a glacier once pushed up a mound of rock and dirt known as a moraine to the edge of the Cheap Cut. Rick believes that this blockage has trapped gold all up against it over the centuries, all gold that has washed down from the motherlode. If his theory is right, he has stumbled across a buildup of gold that has been growing for ages. Rick gathers the dirt and rock from where he believes the glacier created the moraine and puts it in his panning bowl. His belief is that this could be the best gold they found all year, and with the price of gold only increasing, he would make some of the largest profit margins in recent memory. He carefully pans the dirt in the nearby water and determines that he needs to see at least 15 to 20 distinct colors in the pan to make the area a viable location. Extending the cut is a decision that could make or break his career at this point. You pull that big rock out of there. I did 2 of them, building Stonehenge here. When you start hitting those big boulders like that, you're in the right spot. The Ness crew at Duncan Creek is busy extending the Cheap Cut, trying to determine whether Rick's hunch is correct. Mark keeps adding to a stockpile of pay dirt that is meant to keep the wash plant running. They cannot afford to shut down. However, a problem arises when they lose water pressure over at the wash plant. This is extremely frustrating as it feels as though the team is being delayed and set back every single day, unable to catch up. The leak in the water pump is quickly spotted and tells them they have to shut down operations for the day until it is patched. All of this downtime is a huge red flag, so they decide against fixing the leak and instead replace the water pump entirely. Carl brings in the backup, and they hurry to install it with the help of a crane. The replacement won't start up, causing their hopes to come crashing down. Rick Ness needs to calculate whether his decision to extend the Cheap Cut will pay off. Before getting to the numbers, Rick makes small talk and eases the tension in the room. Part of being a leader is tending to one's subordinates, and that's something Rick doesn't forget. Finally, they get down to business, and Rick pulls out the scale. To reach their gold weight, Rick would need an ounce of gold per 100 yards from this extension of the Cheap Cut. They have run over 7,000 yards, and Rick needs at least 70 ounces from this venture. The gold is carefully poured onto the scale, and it measures well over 70 ounces, reaching 82.375 ounces. This means that Rick has mined $144,000 worth of gold from the Cheap Cut extension. His hunch, combined with his knowledge of the history and geography of Alaska, has paid off in a big way. This is Rick's biggest haul of the season. Everyone is left amazed as they have never seen such a good cleanup with their own eyes before. Rick reflects on how they never came anywhere close to this last year. It seems that his theory about the moraine was proven correct, and he found an amazing cache of gold. At this point, it's only numbers like that they need. They kind of got to keep going up. Yeah, and I know there's a lot more of it out here right on this property. A few more hauls like this, and their season will go very smoothly. It also eases concerns that their late start in the season would irrevocably destroy their chances of meeting their gold ounce goal. It's barely September, and the weather has turned colder, covering the land in snow and slowing down operations for the Ness crew. This is a warning that the end of the season is around the corner, despite everyone believing they should still be experiencing autumn weather. Rick is upset as he believes his wash plant, Rocky, should still be running at this time in the season. However, after helping him bring in his biggest gold haul of the season only a week ago, his wash plant, Rocky, has shut down unexpectedly. The weather will not allow for water to run through the machine without freezing and disrupting the equipment. This didn't stop the team, but the more they tried to push the wash plant, the slower it would go. The longer and longer lengths of time it takes to use the wash plant end up costing them more time and money than just shutting it off. Rick comes to the hard decision that Rocky is done for the year, and now all efforts have to be focused on their second wash plant, Monster Red. While Rick understands that striking out on his own is risky, he thought the rewards would be worth it. A lot of people doubted he would be able to survive on his own like that, but so far Rick has been able to prove them wrong. However, now with one wash plant down and the weather getting colder by the day, he is starting to have doubts. This is only his third season on his own after leaving the Klondike and finding the big gold in the mountains. Rick has invested $250,000 deposit to purchase his claims, but the end of the mining season is creeping up, and he still needs 550 ounces to reach his target of 2,000 ounces of gold. Over the walkie-talkies, Rick gets a message asking him to check out a situation the crew is having with water. Rick races down to a massive pond of water where his worker is meant to be smoothing out the area. He tells him that they are going to need to get a pump to remove the water and give them access to the pay dirt below. After digging for over 2 months, the Ness crew is 170 feet down in the Raleigh Valley. We finally got our hopper feeder in, and I paid off Troy his royalties for the year, so that feels really good. This valley is completely filled with water, making it impossible for their equipment to traverse. The high-grade pay in the Raleigh Valley is something that the entire Ness crew is relying on to save this season and career. The 6 feet of water is a huge obstacle that will take time and money to remove. The pump is working, but the valley has only flooded out again, even with the work put into clearing it, setting them back even further than before. Rick's pump is only 6 inches and is no match against the estimated 6,000 gallons of groundwater currently flooding the valley. The water is leaking into the cut every moment. They realize that their plan is ineffectual and that the water pump doesn't work correctly either. Rick remembers that the Taylors have a 10-inch water pump sitting somewhere in their own equipment stash, and the only issue Rick can recall is that it has not been used for a couple of years. Their next step is to plumb up the hoses and place the equipment into position. Rick is worried since he knows they don't have much time left, and they need to get to the pay dirt as quickly as possible. The only thing standing in the way is the air. Chris, a member of the Ness crew, explains that now that they have the 10-inch water pump, they will hopefully get this water cleared and the land dried out soon. Rick managed to drill the hose into place and tells the crew to fire it up. To everyone's relief, the pump turns on, powered by a giant 465 horsepower dozer engine. The pump is said to be able to empty an Olympic swimming pool in just 70 minutes, around 660,000 gallons of water in over an hour. Rick points out how they can see the water being sucked out from feet away, and the hose spits out gallons of water in moments. This is a huge improvement to the wimpy 6-inch water pump that only made the flooding worse. Rick believes that when they arrive in the morning, the valley will be ready to be soused and the dirt relocated. The ability to shift their attention from the water and back to the gold is a good sign that they are making progress with this season's gold ounce goal.